I'd like to take the opportunity to talk with you guys a little bit about some of the engineering involved in a bridge like this. So let me ask you this, my friends, just by a show of hands. Until we started putting the bridge together this afternoon, you know, how many of you folks sort of understood what we were doing this morning when we were building the pieces? Who sort of knew what it was going to look like when it was done? All right, so about half of you know, and the other half sort of, you know, you were good sports and you played along. Let me ask you a couple questions about sort of how this bridge works and see how much you guys understand this project. Question number one, if I wanted to make this bridge so that there was less stress on the cable, what are some things I could do? There's a bunch of different things, but yeah, my friend, give me one. Okay, so add another tower. So what you're saying is if we kept the length the same and we added an extra tower, it would have the effect of shortening the span of the bridge. Yeah, and that's absolutely right. That would shorten the span and that would reduce the load on all the cables. So that's one thing we could do. Can anyone think of another thing we could do? Oh, yes, sir, in the camouflage. Oh, you were just scratching your head? Okay then, yes, sir.
Lighter materials.
Lighter materials, that's a really good idea. Yeah, we could. And, you know, because the bridge, right, it has the load on it of the people going across it. But any structure also has what's called a dead load. And that's the weight where the structure has to support itself. You know, so each one of these floor panels we have here probably weighed, I don't know, what do you think, maybe 75 pounds? Let's say it's 50 pounds because it makes the math easy. That means that the dead load of the walkway is 250 pounds, you know, before anyone even gets on it, that the bridge has to be able to support. So if we can cut the weight of the walkway in half, you know, then the bridge can support, you know, another 125 pounds of load, of person. There's a third thing. Has anyone taken trigonometry in school? So if you've taken trigonometry, you might be able to figure this out. The steeper an angle that the rope meets the walkway at, you know, the more weight that rope can safely support. So if we had made the towers, we used 16-foot spars. If we had used 20-footers instead, you know, then we would have, for the same length of bridge, we would have been able to support a heavier load on the bridge before we had to worry about it breaking. So those are some of the things you have to think about, right, when you're designing a project like this. A lot of the design, you know, you can sort of do based on your gut and what other people have done in the past when you're building a small project. But once you start building a big project, you actually have to start doing some math. You know, for the 100-foot bridge of this design that we've built in the past, you know, my buddy Tom, who's good at math, he's done all the numbers, and we figured out, you know, exactly how much load is in each rope so that we could make sure we weren't overloading any part of the bridge. So what I did for this one, because I'm bad at math, you know, is I took Tom's design and I used all the ropes that he needed for the bridge twice as big, you know, to build a bridge half the size. So I knew that everything would be, you know, would be within our safety margins and stuff. Oh, you know what? I never told you the most important rule of using the sledgehammer. Don't break the handle. So as long as I have a captive audience, let me market a little bit to you. My week-long Backwoods Engineering camp that I do every summer. It's a week-long summer camp. It's just like your regular summer camp, only instead of doing a bunch of different merit badges every day, you do Backwoods Engineering all day. And we build some really good stuff. Some of the stuff we build a bridge like this, but twice as big. Fling water balloons at James Hitchings out of a trebuchet. We build rafts and we sail them around on the lake. We build a crane and we lift one of the camp's pickup trucks up in the air. You know, we do a lot of really neat stuff. People who are smarter than me are also involved with it, so they teach you a lot of really useful stuff too. About how to be an engineer and how to think like an engineer. And then, you know, there's nothing like it anywhere else. So if you enjoyed today, I highly suggest that you think about, you know, maybe looking into that in the future. A stop motion video of our project today so that if it doesn't fall down, he can use it for marketing purposes.
We just want to make Carl a star.
You know, he's got a big project ahead of him.
Carl, the line you need to learn is smash that like and subscribe. Practice that a couple times. We'll get it.
All right, kids. So smash that like and subscribe.
Perfect.
I don't even know what that means.
That's okay. We'll get it later.